the questions and wanting to show up and then showing up, right? There's so many people that talk the talk but don't walk the walk, right? And people remember that, right? So it's huge. And
It's hard sometimes because, especially as an influencer, content creator, and we talked about this a little bit before, that there's a lot of, what's the word for it? Entitlement that you see, not that everybody is, but there's a lot of entitlement of, you need to pay me for this. And, like, obviously, everybody, in order to do well in life, you need to be able to bring in an income so you can continue doing better and pour into everybody's cups. And I'm still working on that. But, like, I live by providing value first and then negotiate later, and see, like, build a relationship first, and trying to find out, like, how do I authentically show up? And people don't know what to do, especially since, like, this is new. Social media is new in the grand scheme of things. Like, some people are like, oh, it's been around for forever. But, like, in reality, like, it's pretty new. Like, print media, that's been around, and people know what print media is. People know when you're talking about a TV show. People know when you're talking about, even podcasts are easier to start that conversation. But when you go, hey, I would like to do some content. Can I just interview you and ask you questions or whatever? People are wondering, and they ask, like, are you charging something for this? Like, what is your motivation? Like, why are you here? Because some people will show up and they have alternative motives. I'm like, nope, this is just me. I'm curious, I'm learning, and let's kind of see where it goes from there. So it's been an interesting journey to have those conversations with people, where I have, specifically with someone locally. I was talking with him at a car show and expressed my interest in wanting to learn a little bit more. And then he contacted me later after I had posted the interview. He actually apologized. He's like, hey, sorry, I was kind of rude to you, wasn't I? I'm like, no, you weren't. He's like, but, like, I feel kind of bad. And I was able to pick up on it that he was just more reserved because he didn't know who I was, what I was all about. And not that he was being rude, he was just a little bit more closed off, which is fine. Like, that's not a judgment. And I wasn't upset about it. But it just meant a lot that he actually came back and said, hey, like, I noticed, like, I don't know what it was. I feel really bad about it. I'm like, no, like, it's totally fine. I get it. And we did actually a follow-up interview, uh, at his shop, and it was a really cool interview because he was talking about how he got into cars. It was because of his brother, his late brother. So I like to ask those, like, nitty-gritty questions, not just,
Mhm.
what is this part? What does it do on the car? Which is great. I like to know why people get into things, who their inspiration is. I like the small business, family run things, like, kind of like what you guys do, right? You're trying to ask all these questions. Like, that is what interests me.
Mhm.
yeah, for sure. And and that's what this podcast is about, to understand how our guests get into the industry, how they support the industry, but how they bring value to their customers and their vendors and things like that. Um, Katie knows a lot more about influencers than I am because she's working with some. But you what you said about parts and things like that, you can't come in as an influencer and just expect companies to give you stuff, right?
Yeah.
Um, you know, and you can't fill somebody's inbox up with requests for stuff. Wink, wink, right, Katie? Um,
Yeah, I'm dealing with
because
that presently.
it's going to end up in the trash bin or blocked as spam. But you have to bring value. You have to understand the company, not just go, oh, geez, I need this or that.
Oh, oh, that just happened. Someone sent me a pitch deck and it had our old logo on it that changed years ago. And I was like, not a good first step. Like, you probably should have done more
Yeah.
research before you sent me this pitch deck. Appreciate you put a pitch deck together, but you could tell that it's the same pitch deck that they send to everybody, and they just changed the logo out. So I'm like,
Wrong.
not great, not great, not a good foot forward.
Yeah, you got to do the homework, right? And do the research. And sometimes you have to do stuff ahead of time without expecting anything in return, right?
1000%. And that's so many things, even me as the company coming in with some of these content creators or influencers, they have gotten to the point where they are the ones that are very selective because they create such fantastic content, and they've really, they've developed this partnership group that they work with for years. And, I want to break into that because their audience connects with the audience I need to connect with, or they're expanding in a market that I really want to be in. So how do I bring value back around for them? Because they don't need parts anymore. Their vehicles are built out. Y- Things like that. So it
Yeah,
goes both
that's
ways. But
interesting.
um, yeah, it's an ebb and flow. It's challenging for you, Christina, also because everybody and their brother wants to be an influencer now. I mean, it is the amount of emails that I get is just obscene. Like we just had a discussion yesterday on a marketing meeting where I was like, we've got to start sending them to the generic inbox because it's just I was gone for 4 days and I came back to 150 emails. Some were actually like job related.
Wow.
um
An hour and a half later,
which
you're
bogs
still
me down.
going through all these emails,